Hello folks, this is Johnny again. Now first of all, my apologies for not keeping up with the mix review videos, and I also didn't get to the mixing cage myself series yet. Perhaps you can see I am in a new room here. I switched up my rooms a little bit. Now I have a dedicated studio room, and this room is a little bit smaller, and I still don't have my monitor stands, which I'm waiting for. So once these monitors have their final placement and I have a bit more room acoustic treatment going on, then I can get into getting to know the room acoustics in here, and then we will be going on with all that kind of stuff. But today what I want to show you is my whole workflow and processing throughout the album Revive. Today we'll start with vocals. Brian just sent me the vocal tracks for a new song, and let's get into that. So this right here, first of all, everything from here upwards is the instrumental version of the song, and here below we have the vocal tracks. I just inserted them and nothing else is done yet.
There it goes, my mind. It's growing cold from all this.
So this is for the song Voices. Working title was Break These Shackles, but that's not important. Now, first thing I usually do is I just listen through the song. Let's just skip through it a little bit. I already listened through it and it's all very good.
It's getting late and I'm losing sleep. But all think for yourself, you're not their puppet, so don't be a slave to their ways, yeah. Enough's enough for breaking. Oh no. Think for yourself, you're not their subject, so don't be afraid to help them say straight. Yeah! To help them say straight. Think for yourself.
Okay, so it's all pretty fine. It's all very well done, very solid vocals. I don't really need to do much to these in terms of correctional stuff. What I want to start out with is editing. Usually, for all the songs so far, I would just slap a noise gate in here, but I noticed, with a noise gate, you don't have as much control. Sometimes things are cut off that shouldn't be cut off, and sometimes things come through that shouldn't come through. So let's just get through this whole thing and edit a little bit.
There it goes.
So let's cut everything from here.
There it goes, my mind. It's growing cold from all this. It's getting late and I'm trying to.
Yeah, this little inhales I kind of want to keep. Perhaps they won't really be audible in the mix later on, but if they are audible, then they actually add a little bit of a human vibe to it all. It makes it a bit more emotional, I kind of want to say.
A quiet time. Oh yeah.
It's kind of like with guitars, when you edit out all the movements of the fingers across the strings and some little things that just make it audible that it's been done by a human. Well, of course, then it becomes a little bit more inhuman. That's why I'm not really into over-edited guitar parts anymore. I like it a little bit rougher around the edges. So yeah, let's take that same approach for the vocals.
Thankful.
Okay, but here I kind of want to cut that out. And let's just cut out the in-between parts just to make sure there is no hiss or noise coming in.
Think for your sake to help them see straight.
Okay, let's keep that inhale in there. If it was a pretty big and dense part, I would probably cut this out, but this is pretty big and dense, but there are only rhythm guitars and bass guitar going on in here, so that's still fine. If there were a whole lot of guitar layers, then I would also cut out this little bit, but not today.
Enough's enough for breaking out of this self-made. I never knew.
Oh yeah, little inhales like these. They can really add a lot of spice to a performance, so I'm gonna keep that, definitely. Okay, let me just quickly go through the tracks by myself. Okay, and here we are with the double tracks and backing tracks and whatever. I went a little bit harder with the editing. I edited out some inhales and stuff just so they don't muddy stuff up unnecessarily. With these kinds of spices in the performance, I rather want to keep them in the main vocal track, where there will be actually a bit more obvious. But the other stuff is gonna be a bit farther in the background, so just to make sure it stays clean, I edited stuff a little bit harder. And when you do that, of course, don't forget to put in a few milliseconds fade in and fade out so you don't get any clicks or pops. Alrighty, now next step is I like to do a little bit of pre-processing on my vocals. So let me just load up my general vocal chain. Where is it again? Here, Vox recording. Okay, let's keep in the gate. Let's put it afterwards. Open up and let's put it real low. So what I like to do here is put a little bit of console and tapes, saturation and whatnot, and coloring. Because Brian uses a Behringer B1, which is a $100 condenser mic, right into an interface. So this is a very, very digital signal, for lack of better words. So to spice it up a little bit and give it a bit more character, I like to put this on here. Then after that, you know what? I need to switch up the chain a little bit. First of all, let's put in this depopping. So every time he kind of exhales or there are any woofing sounds, then this thing will catch it. It's just compressing the low end, 100 Hz below, as high of a ratio as it goes.
There it goes, my mind growing cold. It's growing cold from all this. It's getting late and I've been...
Yeah, just, you know, this is a little bit of cleanup. And then tape simulation, let's put this afterwards. So first we do a little bit of fixing and then we go into this kind of stuff. And after that, I like to use a little bit of leveling compression. I kind of want to try to emulate an analog recording process. And oftentimes you see people already compressing vocals while they are recording. And then afterwards, when you're actually in the mixing stage, you notice you won't have to do as much. So just a little bit of leveling compressor.
Losing sleep.
And usually I set it up so very quiet parts are just touching it.
I'm trying to find a safe place.
Okay, hang on.
Think for yourself. You're not their puppet, so don't be a slave. Think for yourself, you're not their subject, so don't be afraid. Enough's enough.
Hang on, let's turn all this off. Let's see if we still get this kind of distortion in here.
Think for yourself, their subject, so don't be afraid to help them see straight.
Yeah, we need to do some proper level adjustments in here.
Think for yourself, you're not their subject, so don't be afraid to help them see straight. Them see straight.
But it's okay if there's a little bit of grit and distortion coming in to the vocals. I mean, this is really hard rock, alternative rock, so that little bit of grit from saturation is actually very pleasing.
Think for yourself, you're them see straight. I never knew what I was waiting for.
And you'll see a lot that engineers added the vocals and the volumes within the vocal tracks before they hit the compressor. I tried that, and for me personally, I don't really like to do that because somehow it still sounds like you edited stuff. For example, these chorus tracks right here, I could take them down in volume so they are a little bit closer to the verse tracks, but somehow even after the compressor is leveling this out, it's still kind of noticeable that these are lower than volume. And well, that's one thing. A second thing is I like how louder parts also hit the compressor harder, and it actually makes these vocals sound more powerful because it's fighting against this compressor, and you notice this grit kind of coming in. So I'm going to keep that. And now just a little bit here of noise gate to make sure the tape saturation and whatnot is not adding unwanted noise throughout the whole thing. Although there's nothing here.
There it goes, my mind. It's growing cold from all this. It's getting late.
You know what? Then let's take this out. And now I'm going to save this again. And let's use this as a template on everything else. Oops, okay. And now again, I need to go through all the tracks and make sure that tape saturation or that the tape desk and the compressor have the right levels going on. So let me just do that real quick. Okay, and now that is done. So the vocals are actually ready to be processed, or rather mixed from here on out. So this is really just a pre-processing chain to make it easier on myself later on. So next step is I do everything dry. I make it all dry so that I can export everything. So first of all, the MIDI. We need to humanize this. And then in here, I need to take out the humanizing. And now let's go through this whole thing. Let's take this out. So don't worry, I saved this as an extra project, so the original instrumental is still in existence. This right here is just a kind of pre-processing stuff. Yeah, I'm kind of doing the work of an assistant engineer, I kind of want to say. So again, let me just get through this whole thing real quick. Okay, and done. All the effects are taken out, so all I got going now are the raw DI tracks and raw drums. Actually, we can still work a little bit on the levels of the vocal tracks. Okay, something around those lines. And now I'm going to export all the tracks. So export stems, don't need this and this and this and this. So we got everything going on here. I don't need any prefix. Render to 24 bits between song start and end marker. Of course, make sure you set those right so you can just take the tracks as they are, import them into the new project, and you're done. And now let's export. Now after exporting, of course, immediately back up all the raw tracks. So I put that on my external hard drive, and I already imported all these tracks into my mix template for this album. And from here on out, I just really have to do some tweaks. So shall we give it a quick listen what it sounds right out of the box when I put it into the template? Of course, there you already notice there are quite some things I need to adjust here and there. Yeah, and now that's basically it for the vocal process. Now you can see after it's rendered down, here the volumes are much more evened out. They are not all over the place as before. And now I just need one compressor in here instead of 2 or 3. And for this one, yeah, we'll get into the mixing stuff later on. So I just wanted to show you my pre-processing chain for mixing the vocals, and that's it. Okay, then I shall see you in the next video with whatever else we will be doing. Perhaps guitars or something, I don't know. Yeah, guitars. I think guitars are a bit more interesting. So, have a good one.